Okay, we're back here. Welcome to the Space and Rocket Review. Space and Rocket Review, you two girls. Tell your friends. Space and Rocket Review. I got a good amount of stuff here that I want to show you here, and I just got to transfer some of the links over, and we will go from there. How's everybody doing? It is Thursday. Thursday exists. So we did watch a Starlink launch a second ago here. And we did have a launch today, which is great. All right, let's go here like that. Robotic, there, that. Okay. What happened on Wednesday? Well, you missed it just now. All right, I think I got all of the links here. Do we have an acquisition signal over on the YouTube side of things? Okay, we got an AOS over there. Excellent. Okay, that's a bit of news there. Almost got all the links transferred over. This is what I usually do when I take a break between space newses. This is space news. This is. All right, here's where we're starting. We are starting at the test stand at McGregor. How about the news? How about this? So SpaceX posted a video yesterday of them firing Raptor 3 on the test stand. It's loud. Doing a 6-minute and 30-second duration burn, mimicking Starship Block 3's ascent trajectory. How about now? That's right. What? Look at that. You know, I'm just gonna sit here. We're just gonna watch this, if you don't mind. Also, important things to note. So I did kind of look through this quickly yesterday, but some things that I've noticed. This is the same test stand that they showed us doing vacuum Raptor testing on a little while back. So this is clearly like a dedicated Raptor 3 test stand. The other thing is that Raptor 3 is serial number 75, which means that there is enough Raptor 3s for at least two Starship launches. We would need 6 vacuum Raptor 3s, but I'm sure those are around somewhere. You would like to request a color comparison with Raptor 2. Alright, we can look. Is 75 the highest number that we've seen? That's definitely up there, Ethan. I'm not sure if it's the highest, but it's on the higher side of things. What happens if you stand next to that? You'd go deaf. And then you'd probably burn. Like, from the convecting heat. And then the sound would probably be like somebody taking a potato masher to your innards. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to stand next to these when they go off. That's probably not a good thing. Yeah, you know, short story, you would die. Yep. Will the engines on Super Heavy cook each other because of the wide plume in the engine configuration? I don't think they'll cook each other, dude. I think they'll be just fine. Yes, like a Who concert, yes. Also good reference. It is. Previously, the highest one we saw was 68. Cool. Hey, Dan, what's going on? It's quite a beautiful engine you got there. Yes, it is. I mean, I said this yesterday. You see how consistent everything is here? There are a couple of flashes here and there. That's okay. You know, it's not perfect, but that is pretty damn close. That is very, very nice. See how the plume is all defined here. See how it's a very, very sharp edge for the most part until it gets to about here where you start to get turbulence. That means motor's real good. Nice consistency. Nice consistency throughout the whole plume. Look at that. No, really, really good. And we are seeing some under expansion going on here. See, if you look, the gases kind of go out and they hourglass out and they go back in. Notice that the gases start to get turbulent right where the gases go back in and collapse in on themselves. Right? The reason why that's part of the reason why that shock cone is right there. See the cone right there? Because the gases from the engine are shooting out of the engine and the atmospheric pressure is pushing them back into each other. All that, the under expansion, everything is just ace about this footage. That's McGregor. That's the test stand. Hello, Help. How are you? Has there been another engine where the largest shock diamond is the second one? I don't think so, man. I still can't get over just how compact this engine actually is, or the thrust it puts out. I mean, if you take off the nozzle, it'd fit in a damn pickup truck. Yeah, dude, it's crazy. Dude, they move them vertically around on pallets, man. I could fit that in a truck, no problem. We've seen Fords move them around at Starbase. How long is the longest burn? This is the longest one that I've heard of, but I'm sure that NSF and McGregor Live, if I'm remembering right, we've seen them do Raptor engines for longer, but not Raptor 3s. I think this is the longest duration burn that we've seen from a Raptor 3. Could Raptor get so good that SpaceX says we don't need 33 engines and take one away or a few? Well, Goalie, I think the idea is that, you know, they're not going to take one or two away. The engine's so damn light that just keep them on there. I think the idea is that if one or two don't work, you really don't have an issue at all. I mean, dude, these things are so ridiculously simple. They're so ridiculously simplified at this point. Like, oh no, it doesn't work. Longest Raptor 3, I think, was 8 minutes. Well, this one's up there at 6 minutes and 30 seconds. That's a pretty damn long duration burn for a first stage engine. Think about that for a second. This is an atmospheric nozzle. That's a really long burn for an engine that's designed to go on a first stage. Now, Starship does have these engines in its second stage as well, right? Then they're used for ascent, which is what they're testing here. But still, that's a long duration burn. Not many rocket engines can burn for this long before they break. Yeah, this is testing a second stage ascent profile, Spoiled. That's correct. Yep. Oh, and of course, right when I walk away, it flames out. Great footage, man. What was the total time? I think per the post, it was about 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Why does a Raptor look black on the nozzle? Because that's the metal that they used. That's not paint, that's just the metal. Do you think we're going to get to the end of Raptor, or do you think they have more left in them? They have way more left in them, Goalie. Way more. I can tell just from the under expansion here. There's way more. You could get more out of this. Yeah. So the fact that the gases are pushing so much out of this thing. Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, this isn't anything that SpaceX or Elon hasn't said, guys, to be very sure. This isn't anything that they haven't said, but Raptor 4 is coming and it will be uprated from here. Is it hot when it stops? Touch it. Oh, dude, if you speed up the footage, you can see they were doing minute thrust. That's the Starship computers. So this thing was hooked up on the test. It is on the test stand, right? But they hooked the rocket engine controllers up to Starship avionics. Starship? Razors? All right. They hooked it up to Starship avionics. This is what's called hardware in the loop testing. Basically, where you just take Starship's brains and tell the computer that this is a second stage engine, and the Starship computer doesn't know the difference between a test stand and being on a Starship, right? It doesn't know the difference. So they hook the computer into this test stand, and you see it's making minute corrections because it's simulating an ascent burn. That's why you're getting small, minute thrust vector control changes. So the engine was flying a mission. Correct. Yep. That's called hardware in the loop testing. Yeah. Or HITL. HITL. I wonder if they were running inputs from a previous flight. Spoiled if maybe. If I had to guess, they were probably validating Raptor 3's ascent performance. So I don't. That's probably derived from Raptor 2 ascent data from the previous flights. But if I had to guess, this is a clean sheet ascent profile. If I had to guess, I don't know, because they changed so much, dude. They changed so much. Like, guys, I can't stress this enough. Starship V3, from what I can tell, it might as well be a new vehicle. Seriously, the only difference that I've been able to really kind of put together between, Starship Block 2 and Starship Block 3 is that they're both made out of stainless steel. Everything is changed. The entire design is refactored. Everything. And I mean everything. There's like no common components here. Maybe the only common component is the tiles on Starship. Right? Block 3 is completely different. It is a whole, it's crazy to me that, it's crazy to me that people are like, oh my God, we're waiting so long between Flight 11 and Flight 12. Dude, Block 3 is a new vehicle. That is no relation to Block 2. It's like going from Delta 3 to Delta 4, right? Like Delta 3 is, well, it exists. But Delta 4 though, but that's like doing that in a couple of months. That's pretty impressive, dude. They feed it fake sensor data and it makes real control outputs, right? That's my guess. That's my guess that those little minute corrections are Aqualex. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Block 3 plumbing over the plate is way less pretty. A lot. Yeah. Do you know what type of metal they're using? I've never seen black metal before. Chromoly steel is like that, dude, but that's not what they're using. But yeah, there are metals that do that. It's a metal alloy, Chris. That's why. What are my credentials? X-Court? What do you mean my credentials? I'm a Twitch streamer. I teach people. I'm a live streamer. I teach people about science and technology and engineering. What's my credentials for doing that? Nothing. I'm self-taught. I'm a 3D artist by trade. Well, 3D artist in CAD systems. I can use CAD systems. I do things with pictures on computers. I have people skills. I'm good at dealing with people. Don't you understand that? No, I've been doing this for a long time. So, yeah, you pick up a lot of stuff over time. But yeah, I'm not an engineer by any means. Autodesk? Yeah, sure. I could use Fusion. I cut my teeth on Maya. Used a lot of Maya, 3ds Max back in the day. But yeah, I mean, you use one, you can use them all. The workflow is pretty much the same. What stand is this at McGregor? This is the Raptor 3 test stand, New Glenn. I'm not exactly sure where this one is. Look, I deal with the customers so the engineers don't have to. Do you do much 3D now? Oh, hey, Lewis, what's up, man? I love your renders. No, but I could. Sure. 3DR is popping up like, hey, do you still do that? I mean, I could. I don't really have access to a CAD program right now. I mean, unless I wanted to go grab Blender or something. Raptor South stand, you believe, Jake? Yeah, right on, right on. Believe you, my stapler. Well, you've been tutored by a bunch of experts in chat over years. Yeah. Got a lot of good mentors in chat. The heat tiles on block 3 have a different attachment point than block 2. There you go, Thomas, right? Like, tiles aren't even the same. People ask if you're a god, you say yes. Are you a god then? All right, anyway. I'm sorry, I just like really looking at this. Very cool. Yeah, thanks, Xcord. All right, do you think that block 3 is going to have block 2 type struggles? No, I don't. I really don't, dude. Nope. I think the reason why block 2 had all the problems that it did was because it was mitigating the known it was trying to mitigate the known problems that would have been solved from block 3. Now, booster 18 notwithstanding, but I'm pretty sure that isn't a design problem. I'm pretty sure a COPV popped, and that means it was mishandled, which is, unfortunately, I'm pretty sure that's the same exact problem as ship 36. But we don't know that for sure. We can't prove that. Long story short, SpaceX should probably handle its COPVs better. Here's the non-sequitur. The LEM abort system, would it drop the lower stage and fire up the ascent stage? It would hot stage, Bill, in an abort scenario. You'd hot stage off the descent module. Yep. That is, believe it or not, what Apollo 5 was about. Everybody knows Apollo 4, the first Saturn V launch, right? And then Apollo 6, the second Saturn V launch. Apollo 5 put a LEM up into low Earth orbit, and they hot-fired it. They fired the ascent module while it was still attached to test the abort contingency. It was an in-flight, it was the IFA for the LEM. There are renders of its patch. Look. Here. Check it out. Yeah, what up, guys? Yeah, there's the patch. See? Hot staging. Glad we never needed it. Yep. New Glenn watching. Okay, question about SpaceX testing. What are the positive and negatives of vertical and horizontal testing? Vertical is higher fidelity to what actually to like in-flight testing, because you know the engine is pointing in the direction that you need to go up. Horizontal testing is easier. It's easier to put the engine on the test stand. Yeah. Yep. Real Engineering did an interview with Lecter Orbital's chief engineer. They want to use mirror bearing sats in sun-synchronous orbit near the Terminator to blast light at, before, after existing industrial solar farms at dawn and dusk to replace peaker plants. Interesting. That's kind of cool. If they had to abort, was that a manual controller or did the computer fly it? The computer would not, no, it's manual control. Most aborts are manual. You wouldn't want like a computer controlling an ejector seat in an airplane. That really is up to the pilot to, zap it. All right. Just want to go back to looking at this. Apollo 5 looked really funny. Yeah, they basically just put an aluminum cone on top of a vehicle staging adapter. So that Saturn 1B, Dan, that launched is basically that's the adapter that would be on a Saturn V, and instead of having a CSM on top, they just put a nose cone up there. That's what the Saturn 1B's fairing is. It's just the LVSA from the Saturn V. That's what they made the fairing. Once again, smart design. If they had to abort, was that manual control? I'm saying after they aborted. I don't know. I don't remember. The abort guidance computer ran the abort protocol. There you go. Ooh, baby. There's a little bit of detonation at shutdown. Oh, yeah. Let's watch the shutdown. I want to see that in slow-mo. Let's see that in an instant replay. There's the mock disc. The mock disc will collapse, and then the motor will kind of for a second. That's really not a lot. And then that's residual propellants in the lines getting shot out, and then they catch on fire, and then they'll purge the engine out. Nice. Dude, even the shutdowns. That shutdown's so damn crisp. If you look at like other rocket engines shutting off, man, it's like chaos. This thing is just boop. You know, it's just, it's like when you know you're farting and it's like, you know, versus the, you know, like, I mean, at least SpaceX makes it look a lot less violent than it actually is. Like other engines shutting down, it's like a wet one. It's like, this thing is just like, toot. It's actually, that's really nice, dude. It's really good. It's the beans, yeah, right? Has anyone made helium engines? Helium engines? Helium's non-reactive. Chris, it's a noble gas. Helium engines don't work. You need something. You need hydrogen or carbon or silicon or something. I don't want to watch it again. Man, that thing is nice.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hey, Art, what's going on? 30-month resub. Hope you have a Merry Christmas. Yeah, you as well, man. Merry Christmas. You're the first one to say that to me. Merry Christmas, buddy. Helium would work for nuclear thermal. Yeah, that's a good point. Helium could work in a nerve. Yeah. Do you think that's what the person that asked that question was thinking about? Monoprop RCS. Yeah. I suppose you could put it through a catalyst, and that'd actually probably be really, really efficient. But I mean, it's just helium being inert is kind of a pain in the butt. Well, not a pain in the butt. Helium is great for other things. You know what helium lacks for, you know, I suppose if you want to call it a demerit, like it's not reactive, right? But helium is good at other things, not just for putting in balloons. Helium's really good at absorbing heat. It is an inert gas that can conduct insane amounts of heat because it's so simple. It's a very simple atom. So yeah, a lot of if you like use it in a heat exchanger design, it's could be used to cool stuff very efficiently. Shouldn't they stop wasting helium for useless things like birthday balloons? I mean, yeah. But even in that case, it's more correct to describe NTR as being uranium. That's what I was getting at, Oculus. Sure. Hey, Doom. Simple atoms are cool. Yeah. It's good for making your voice squeak, too. Okay. You know what? I want to go back to this. How does this test stand work? Look here. How did they get... So, What I'm kind of wondering, dudes, is how they get that rocket engine on there. I always like to do this with rocket engine test stands. How does that thing actually move into position? Is there a false floor? Does the floor like move underneath it or something? It seems like that's what happens here. There's kind of a stand for a Raptor to sit on right there, and they can sit on the nozzle. You can move the thing around having with its nozzle just resting on a surface, which is pretty crazy. Sliding platform, you could see it at the edge of the bottom of the shot. You're talking about this thing. This thing slides up into position there. And then what? It slides up and you get a false floor thing going on here. And then what does it raise it up into position? It's an inclined scissor lift. Oh. Now, that's not as fun as I thought, but that still is pretty cool. Marshall has a platform. I was about to say Marshall. That's great. Marshall has a platform that moves. Yeah. Steeris, doesn't 4570, not 4570, 4670, what the hell? Yeah, 4670. 4570 is a bullet. That has a retractable platform that can go in and out, right? BF6 brain. Oh God, that's not good. that's not good at all. Dude, that last match, you were wrecking face. I rage quit. I rage quit. I was like, I hate this. Dude, I spawned and a tank turret was about this far away, and I just smiled and waited for the flash, and I'm just like, all right, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with this. Like, I'm like, okay, let's go. You know, like, all right, I'm good. I don't need to play this anymore. It was not cool. About that chopper pilot, dude. That was good stuff, Tessa. Yeah, that was really fun. We had a lot of fun with Battlefield. There was a lot of shenanigans going on. My favorite thing from the Battlefield stream last night was hiding in that freaking booth. There's like a toll booth on one of the maps, and I was under fire, so I jumped into a freaking toll booth, and I just kind of sat there, and like 2 armored vehicles drove past me, and I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna sit here, and I'm gonna sit here. And then like a guy got out of the APC right in front of me, I shot him, and I'm just like, not me, I'm just here. They didn't catch me. I ran away. They both the APCs both blew up, and then I just ran away and then got shot by somebody else. But it was pretty funny. How did they remove the engines? They probably lift this thing up, and then, judging by these kind of service platforms here, they probably this floor. See this floor right here? That probably lifts all the way up. So you have this becomes the floor, and then you could just use a step ladder and unbolt it. That's my guess. He boldly ran away. Yeah, I kind of retreated like a lot. But yeah, that's good stuff. Anyway, we'll pop back into that later. So yesterday there was Jared Isaacman's Senate confirmation meeting. If you guys did miss it, it was about 2 hours long. Long story short, there wasn't really any particularly anything new. There were a couple of senators that did push him on questions for whatever reason, and you know, some of them, I think, in the court of public opinion, made fools of themselves. But you know, whatever, it's fine. You're not going to say don't ask those questions either. So, did you rage? Nope. Did the whole thing. Didn't rage. Even gave Chad a little bit of a civics lesson on the federal government. It's pretty good. I have no problem showing people how our government works. I just don't want to talk about like the applications of that. You know what I mean? Like in the day to day. You know, if the shoe fits, yeah, right. It's hard to make a fool of yourself in the court of public opinion when the court is also filled with fools, but I digress. Touche. Anyway, so the confirmation went pretty good. I felt I had a pretty good feeling after watching it. I'm pretty sure Rook's gonna get it, which is Amazing. He really wants to take NASA back to what NASA should be doing, pushing the cutting edge of technology and science, which I'm like totally good with. That's awesome. If you guys don't know who Jared Isaacman is, he comes from the software world. He founded a company in his parents' basement called Shift 4 a long time ago. Shift 4 deals with electronic transactions. Long story short, like if you go to the shop, there's a pin pad. That Shift 4 does that. They work with the software behind electronic pin pads. Yeah, he made a lot of money. He doesn't work for Shift 4 anymore. He was the CEO of the company. He divested from Shift 4 because to be NASA administrator. But yeah, that after he did that, he went on two private flights for SpaceX. The Inspiration 4 mission which was the first commercial spaceflight mission in history. And then the Polaris Dawn mission after that, which was the first commercial extravehicular activity ever done. He's been to space 2 times, albeit with private. He's not a NASA astronaut. I'd say he's a commercial astronaut at this point. And then during both of those missions, he raised, between Inspiration 4 and Polaris Dawn, each of those raised $250 million for pediatric cancer research. Yeah, Jared Isaacman works a lot with St. Jude, and he works a lot with trying to help solve childhood pediatric cancer, that's awesome. It's good stuff. Yeah, really, really good. And then, yeah, in case you're wondering what kind of av geek he is, he has a MiG-29, and he just flies that around for fun. And not just a MiG-29. He has MiG-29s. He has like 4 or 5 Alpha jets, a couple of L-39s, which are Soviet-era training air jets. They're training aircraft. Alpha jets are not, but he's got Alpha jets. He's got L-39s. He has a MiG-29, and then he has a fleet of F-5s. Now, that's the new thing. That's the new thing he bought. He bought a fleet of F-5s. Because, hey, man, if you're a billionaire, what would you not buy fighter jets for fun? Like, oh, yeah, he has a Tornado now, too. That's right. Here, let's see. He had some pictures that he posted of the F5 the other day. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, Panavia Tornado. Yeah, this guy's pretty damn cool, dude. I appreciate this dude a lot. Like, I'm not one for being like, oh, billionaires, but like, if you're going to, just saying, it's probably pretty damn good inspiration. Trying to find pictures of the fighter jets. This guy posts a lot. He posts a lot about airplanes, dude. Oh, it looks like the F5 got a paint job. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't hate this. Yeah, he bought a fleet of F5s. He bought like a bunch of them, which is, I love the Tornado so much the USA should have bought a few dozen. Laughs in F-111. He also started the Draken Air Force. That's right. Yeah, Draken was a private, or it still is around. He doesn't. It's not his anymore, or he doesn't work for them, or Draken is a private, not private military contractor, but they're fighter jets that militaries can hire to train against. Yeah, he also did that. He doing op force stuff. So, like, if you want to, I mean, he has the MiG. You know, if you want to practice dogfighting against the MiG, they'd hire Draken and him, which is crazy. Private Aggressor Squadron. That's what it is. He did sell Draken. Yeah, he doesn't own it anymore. They just strapped that onto Artemis 2 for the space plane aesthetic, the America 250. Well, it's funny you should mention that here because that will get us into that next bit of space news. But here's a post from Eric Berger from yesterday. Eric Berger's he's the big space editor over at ours. If you don't know him, yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. Senator Moran says he believes that Jared Isaacman could be confirmed by a full U.S. Senate as NASA administrator as soon as next week. That was posted yesterday. So, yeah, this should be rather expedient here. Jared getting in for NASA administrator, which would be really cool. He's a good dude, and I think he's the right guy for the job. He's what NASA needs. He flew with Snodgrass. I'm super jealous. That's pretty awesome. He's probably one of the few civilians cleared to go to Groom Lake. Yeah, maybe. Could you imagine dogfighting, finding out you're practicing against the NASA administrator? Yeah, well, he doesn't do that anymore. Now he just flies the MiG for fun. Just uses it for charity, to promote charity events. Like he was at Oshkosh. The inspiration team was there. He showed up in his MiG and 4 Alpha jets behind him. He's got his own freaking fighter squadron, dude. I mean, the planes don't have any guns on them or anything, but also it's pretty cool. Never thought I'd hear you call Berger pretty good. It's a weird day when you don't understand sarcasm element, but, you know, pretty good. All right, speaking of America 250, here, check this out. Oh. It seems that the America 250 logo is painted on the SRBs for the Artemis 2 mission. That's pretty good, man. So what is America 250, just in case anybody wants, like, doesn't understand what this means. The United States was started on July 4th, 1776, when the Continental Congress in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, signed the Declaration of Independence and then mailed that off to King George III. And they're like, hey, Tea, Harbor, now. Actually, Boston Tea Party was before that, but that's another story. Underwhelming, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't bother me. I could see how somebody wouldn't like it. But whatever. So yeah, as we go to not 1776, we go to 2026. That's 250 years. 250 years of America, baby. 250 years of throwing tea into the damn harbor. All right, we take the tea, you put it in the harbor. You bring us tea, harbor. All right, stamps, harbor. Anything, harbor. You, harbor. Harbor. So with all that tea in the harbor, the Brits will return and add milk and sugar. No, they won't. They didn't. Still haven't. It's ours now. And it couldn't be in a better position. Yep, that's right. And if anybody has anything to say about it, would you not agree that tea belongs in water? Just saying. I'm just saying. I stumped Chris B with that one time. I said that in front of Chris B. He's like, hey, that's not where it belongs. I'm like, tea belongs in water, does it not? And he's like, oh. They tried in 1812. Yeah. I blame the Canadians for that. It's kind of their fault, too. Do you have this link? No, I don't. Speaking of Artemis 2, actually, well, you know, if it's topical, let's do this. What do we got? What's this? Orion hatch blemish delays launch day rehearsals for Artemis 2 astronauts. This is by Will Robinson Smith over at Spaceflight Now. The main 250 event in DC in July is going to be fun, I hope. Yeah, me too, man. The 4 astronauts who are to fly a loop around the moon next year on the Artemis 2 mission were supposed to board their Orion capsule on November 19th for a launch day rehearsal, but a problem with the spacecraft hatch delayed the practice run, NASA told Spaceflight Now. We're supposed to be at Kennedy Space Center for the countdown demonstration test, but we have delayed that test into December, Artemis 2 Commander Reed Wiseman said in a video, shared November 24th on social media. We spend the bulk of this week sitting down with our flight control experts and teams at Johnson Space Center, just working through all the questions that we have leading up to today. Similar countdown practice runs for astronauts and launch controllers took place during the Apollo and Shuttle programs and continue to this day for SpaceX Crew Dragon missions. Okay, cool. Where's the part about the hatch? Spaceflight Now reported that the countdown rehearsal was delayed by an issue with the Orion capsule, and NASA spokesperson confirmed that in a statement. Prior to the countdown demonstration test, the agency planned to conduct a day-long... Okay, all right, Will. Come on, man. The demonstration was paused when a blemish was found on the crew module thermal barrier, preventing hatch closure until it could be addressed. A repair is completed on November 18th, allowing the closeout demo to successfully complete on November 19th. To allow lessons learned from the closeout demo to be incorporated into the planning for the countdown demonstration test, the decision was made to proceed into water servicing next and place the countdown demonstration test after this servicing completes. Oh. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, man. Yeah. Rum was the real tax. Yeah. Nice, Grits. And yet you were happy to accept our steam engine tech, steam turbine tech, TVs, computers, the internet. Do I need to keep going? Airplanes. Airplanes. Moving assembly lines. Blemish equals rust spot. It looks like they pinched some of the thermal protection system in the hatch. And either way, Tessa, you're a Scotsman. You fought for the king. You fought for the king in the Revolutionary War. That's fine. You just enjoy being subservient. I know that's what you guys like doing. You like bending over backwards for your king. It's fine. Go ahead. Go. Come on. Go. This is for freedom. This is people like freedom only. Anyway. So yeah, okay. It looks like there was a little bit of a delay, but I don't think they delayed it a month. They delayed the countdown rehearsal because fixing the capsule is going to take that long. They just decided to shift around the testing regime a little bit. So not a big deal. Not a big deal. So check this out. SpaceX posted pictures today of Falcon 9. This is the Falcon 9 launch from this afternoon. That's booster 1097 launching the Starlink 1125 mission out of Vandenberg. That booster 1097 was on its fourth flight today. But the crazy thing is that it was on an 18-day turnaround. That booster flew last 2 weeks ago. The reason why it flew 2 weeks ago is because it flew the Sentinel-6B mission and it landed right over here. So SpaceX, because it did an RTLS on its last mission, was very quickly able to take this, refurbish it, and get it ready for another payload. It did successfully deploy 28 Starlink V2s. Ooh, hello. Nice. At least we aren't the Irish or worse, the Welsh. What's wrong with that? I don't mind the Irish. The Irish, people from Ireland like freedom. I don't have a problem with that. You know, they're freedom-loving peoples. They've been subjugated by a king. We get it. I get that as an American. I understand that. Don't worry, my new book on how to lose friends and alienate people is coming out very soon. Everybody that's watching for the UK is like, all right, yeah, I'll be leaving now. See you later. You know, like, they're like, all right, okay. Cheers. You know? Okay, so check this out. This next bit is coming from Vast here. This is a picture of the docking port on their Haven 1 module. Vast is working on building a commercial space station. It's only one module, right? Haven 1 is only one module right now, but it will have a Dragon dock to it. And let's see. Haven 1 docking adapter fit checked at Vast headquarters. In October, we completed a fit check of Haven 1's fully tested passive docking hardware. Likely the first flight model passive docking adapter for a commercial station. This milestone marks a major step towards launch. This is the docking port for Dragon. Yeah, this capsule's coming along very quickly. There's the 6 drive pins, or the 12 driving pins for locking the docking port together. And obviously there's the hatch right there. These pedals are for alignment on the soft capture mechanism. A Dragon will be docking to this. The module, Haven 1, will be launched on a Falcon 9, and then a Dragon capsule will go up to it as part of commercial missions. Vast is looking to capitalize, as a company, Vast is looking to capitalize on the emerging commercial low Earth orbit economy. Basically, if they have a space station, when the ISS goes away, they'll be the only commercial company with a space station up in space that's actually operable. The 3 arms, is that targeting stuff? Yes. I like to think of Haven 1 as a space pop-up camper. Yeah, pretty much. Tessa, are you still here? Oh, he's still here. The distinctions, Tessa. Those are 2 different things. All right, let's keep going. All right, next thing is from Intuitive Machines. What do we got here? Space missions rely on continuous data, but today's networks are fragmented and limited in coverage and responsiveness. Okay. To help solve that, we're partnering with Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory to build safe, secure communications and navigation for the cislunar region. So, Intuitive Machines has a contract with NASA to build a lunar communications network. Yeah, they're going to build basically a tracking data and relay system for the moon. And it's cool. They're working with Johns Hopkins to do it. That's neat. Did you already cover the Chinese booster landing? Actually, you know, I didn't have that teed up into Space News Moto Kid, but we can... Yeah, I'll do that. It exploded. TLDR. It popped. It's, yeah, is exploded. But it seemed like it delivered payload just fine. Let me... let's get some footage up from that. Let me tee up a couple of things. I know a couple of different tweets that have some really nice footage. Okay, here, check this out. Headphone users, this footage might get a little bit loud. So, headphone users, last warning, you got 5 seconds. This might get loud. Yeah. Oh, it's got music on. All right, cool. Never mind. At least I gave a warning. Hello. Thank you for the warning. I got you. So, Jesus, I hate that. It's got the nationalistic music behind it. So this right here is a Chinese commercial company named Landspace. Landspace has built this. This is the ZQ-3 rocket, okay? ZQ-3 is a stainless steel construction methalox rocket that has supposedly, well, I was about to say supposedly, but should be able to come back and land. It's like if you took Starship's materials and made a Falcon 9 out of them. That's kind of the
this is
idea
space.
here.
I'm in space.
Hey, Ewok. 55. Woo! Yeah, I thought that would just be straight audio. It's not. So here's another shot of the launch here. And everybody got this information kind of secondhand. But, yeah, apparently this thing launched. It went into space. It delivered its payload just fine. I think it was a test payload, if I'm remembering right. Could be wrong. And then it tried to come down and land, and unfortunately, the landing did not go great. Here's the rocket right there. Yeah. Does that mean it's not coming on then? So, this most likely, guys, looks like a hard start. It looks like a hard start. It looks like they tried to light the engine and the engine exploded. Landing rockets is not as easy as just right-clicking and hit activate engine like what we do in KSP. It's a pretty complicated fluid management thing. I mean, Blue figured that out with New Glenn Flight 1. SpaceX figured that out by crashing multiple Falcon 9s. This is a tough part of the mission. It's a tough part for a rocket to do. I mean, but even, I will say this, dudes, to get to this point is pretty impressive for a first try. Yeah, caveman, it's progress. Yep, exactly. Nocturnal X, I do not see your last. Oh, okay, there it is. All right, what is this? This was a repost from Interstellar Gateway. Those guys are cool. I don't mind them. They cool. All right, what do we got here? Enhance. Enhance. Yep. Absolutely a hard start. That's, yeah. It looks like they tried to start right there, and then that rocket engine popped, and then a fuel leak caused that to happen. So it's definitely, now that I'm looking at this up close, it's definitely firing. So, huh. Well, this changes things. I hadn't seen this footage until now. That engine's on. Huh. It's definitely on. It's just hard to see because it's a Methalox rocket and the flames are clear. Well then. Oh, jeez. Yeah, it looked like that engine kind of quit, I guess. It looks like it quit and it broke and it shut off and the valves are still open and it caused a huge fire and basically blew up the engine section of the rocket. I mean, it could be a ton of different things, but I originally thought this was a hard start, in which case it'd be a fluid management problem. No, it looks like the motor failed. Woof. It looks like it's on there, though. That definitely looks like a plume. Huh. No, it didn't land in a village. They just may or may not have carpet bombed their landing site.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
With a with the rocket. Yeah, it's a. So the landing here. If you look at this footage again, I don't know, Tessa. I don't know how this rocket lands. So if you see, yeah, their landing pad is right there, and that they hit it. They got it to the landing pad. I will say that's pretty good, pretty impressive. Yeah, didn't land in a village. This is way out in. This is I mean, judging by the terrain, this looks like the Gobi Desert. So this is western China, like way like northwestern China. That's way out. That's in the middle of nowhere. That would be like us launching rockets from like the middle of the Mojave Desert. There's nothing out there. I mean, and the Gobi Desert's bigger than the Mojave. At least I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, I think it's way bigger. I don't know. Either way, nobody's out there. Nobody's near the pad, which is good. Don't know how it lands? I know exactly how it lands. Not very well. Not gonna land here anymore. Gone. But it did fly, and it did deliver a payload, which is pretty cool. Everybody's calling it Temu Falcon 9. Is this the rocket that had its static fire go dynamic? I don't think it is. I actually think that's a different rocket. Holy heck, I feel dumb. I didn't know China had a desert. The Gobi Desert is one of the biggest deserts on the planet. I think the only desert bigger than the Gobi Desert is the Sahara Desert. Actually, I'm pretty sure. Antarctica? Are we calling that a desert now? I'm sure there's a good technical reason for calling Antarctica a desert, but I'm, you know, like, I'm not going to lie. I'm sure there's a perfectly adequate scientific explanation for why scientists call it that. But also, when I think desert, I don't think Antarctica. You know, I think like camel and sand and palm tree. 3 things that don't exist in Antarctica. I understand its lack of precipitation. I get it. But also, you know, seems like a Doc Brown moment. Why are things so heavy in the future? Is there a problem with the Earth's gravitational pull? Have you been? Have you been? How do you know? I know a guy. I know a guy that's been there, Doom. You wouldn't know him. He's from Niagara Falls. What if what are penguins if not camels of the Arctic? I'm pretty sure that penguins and camels aren't even in the same order, or phylum, or class. But also, I get it. Lack of precipitation. I get it. I don't like it, but I get it. If you want to show, the launch site is here. All I need to know is if it's out in the Gobi. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's out in the Gobi. Sweet. Relativity posted a video a few days ago, but would need to watch it muted. Yeah, as is tradition. The Great Australian Desert could be bigger. Yeah, but that's Australia. We don't talk about them. I'm just kidding. Sorry, it's just beat down on all the Commonwealth nation days. The Köppen classification. Köppen climate classification. There, yeah, no, coping. Yeah, I know the guy's doing a lot of coping by calling Antarctica a desert. I'm sorry, man. was too easy, dude. Sorry. Bad humor. Screw you! Yes! Screw you too! All right. You shout? You want to go to the next mission? So yeah, ZK3 didn't land, but it came close. I will say this, dudes. It's pretty cool, like that. You know, when New Glenn landed, I said this is a huge moment because not only does it prove that reusability is something that can be duplicated, like people can do it, it is a trend. It's a market trend. It's where the industry is going. And you know, with the Zuke 3 rocket and then Tianlong 3, even though Tianlong 3 had a little bit of problems, it shows that that's not even just a country thing. That at an international level, like, we're seeing other countries pursue reuse as well, which means reusability is, dude, that's good, man. That means it's a trend, and it's here to stay. I'll say it once, I'll say it again. You're making expendable vehicles right now. You're gonna get left in the past pretty dang quick. Good morning, my neighbors. Hey, screw you. Yes, yes. Screw you too. The Su-57 might be a joke, but the J-20 sure as heck isn't. They're civilization. They're not just a nation. And the J-20's a piece of junk. You should go check that climate system, Edmana, so you can do more coping. What? Equal application. I'm giving every nation that's topical in this stream crap. I got to keep going with it. Eat my shorts. Oh, boy. US2? No. 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 That's the, never mind. That's the... okay. Next news. What else do we got? Let's take a look here. Ask Grok to explain this post. No, I don't think I will. Get off the screen. AMD Magazine is posting this. Honda and Astrobotic are to explore lunar power solutions. Learn how they seek to integrate Honda's regenerative fuel cell with Astrobotic's vertical solar array. But Honda and Astrobotic are partnering for lunar surface operations. That's cool. Okay, all right. Yep, too much stuff popping up there. Cool, next bit of news. Sorry, that's very annoying. Get it off the screen. I've actually been to that McDonald's every so often. They do up the store to look like a McDowell's. That's awesome. So that's cool. Dude, okay, because we're not going to read the article here. I'm sorry, there's just too much crap popping up there. We're not going to read the article. Honda has that suborbital hopper, and they seem to really want to make it a thing to build stuff for space, like rovers and fuel cells and stuff. That's actually super cool, man. Not only do we see reusability being a trend in the industry, we're seeing heavy industrial players around the world get in on this. This is great, man. Pretty good time to do space stuff. Yeah, the future of lunar power is nuclear. Okay. Is Honda also collaborating with JAXA for moon stuff? I do believe they're working on a rover with them, Blinga. Yeah. You know what that regenerative fuel cell reminds you of is a nickel hydrogen battery. Yeah. Yeah. NiH2 cells using 26% potassium hydroxide. as an electrolyte have shown a service life of 15 years or more at 80% depth of discharge. The energy density is 75 watt hours a kilogram. Nice. What is the Honda Civic of rockets? Delta 2 or Falcon 9? Pick your time period. Delta 2 was that back in the day. I can't wait for Yamaha to move into space manufacturing pianos, guitars, motorcycles, and rockets. Mitsubishi actually makes the rockets that go out of Japan. Yeah. Good stuff. Are you going to play Real Moon when it comes out? What's Real Moon, Tistry? Resi, you asked your chem teacher if we could make a hydrogen fuel cell. She said she would love to, but wanted to keep her job. Okay. I do hope sitting in my rocket chair watching rockets take off from port and not just weekly but daily. Man, that would be beautiful to see. I mean, dude, yeah. And that almost happens at the Cape nowadays. There's a rocket going out of the Cape like every 2 days. It's average every 3, which is still crazy. I mean, I'm good with that. Vandenberg is still up there too. Like you get on average, you get one a week out there, which is just. Can you believe that? Doesn't seem like we're here. Have you guys noticed that? Like, you know, you go back like 10 years ago, dudes, and what's that? That's the last one. This is actually a good idea. Solar during the day, running your system, splitting water into H2 and O2, then during the lunar night, H2. Yeah. There you go. Use the fuel cell in the lunar darkness to bridge the lunar darkness. It's not a bad idea. You're not wrong. What I was gonna say is, you know, it's real strange because, like, you go back 10 years ago, it was like, oh man, it'd be cool if a rocket launched once a week. It'd be cool if it does. Falcon 9 launches like 2 to 3 times a week now. Is it weird if it doesn't feel how I thought it would feel? Like, oh look, there's another Starlink. Like, Starlink launches are just a footnote. That's really weird to me, man. That's really strange. You know, yeah. Like, I get it. Everybody says Starlink launches, Starlink launches are kind of boring nowadays. Like, I would argue that they're not, but it's just weird. It's just crazy to me. It's nuts when you slow down and actually think about it. Like, I guess it's because it's just Starlinks all the time that, like, this sub 2-day launch cadence that SpaceX has, like, you know, like, you go back 10 years ago, we want, like, a space shuttle or a Dragon flying every week or something, right? Like, we'd want a Dragon capsule flying like that, or we want a space shuttle flying like that, like, i.e., like, you'd be launching a lot to do, like, deep space missions or something. That's just not something we see from Falcon 9, right? Like, that, I mean, you do see missions from it. Like, Crew 11 launched a little while ago. But I guess because, like, the vast majority are Starlink missions, it doesn't feel like what I thought, like, launching every couple of days would feel like. And don't get me wrong, it's not to disparage it or anything. It's still awesome. Like, it's just, yeah. Can you imagine if every one of these Starlink launches had, like, people on board too? Like, I mean, I'm not sure why you would do that, but that would be cool, right? Like, weekly Falcon Heavy launches, please. Yeah, right. New Glenn, question about Starbase. Why did they move the Liebherr 11,000 crane to what's left over from Pad 1? I don't know. They're probably, New Glenn, I do believe they're getting rid of the water systems for Pad 1. The pad deluge system and the shower head and stuff. They're getting rid of all that. They're going to scrap all of it. Just like they scrapped the original launch mount and all the six legs that held it up. They're going to scrap it. The new water system And I do believe eventually they built a new water system that's over by pad 2, and I do believe the new water system will be able to feed both pads when they get to that point, if I'm remembering correctly. I could be wrong, fellas. I'd have to go talk to Ryan or something about that. I saw that they're breaking the concrete around the deluge. Well, let's take a look. Let's see what's going on at Starbase Live. Now Starbase Live. They don't need the Libre 11,000 for that. Maybe they needed to move something. But it's there. See it right there? There it is. There's an excavator moving around over there. The fuel tank is shared. The water systems are separate. Oh, okay. That's what it is. Thanks, Phil. Yeah, there you go. Like, I wasn't sure. It's just so much information to cover nowadays. Well, you also can see that the Gigabay is really making some good progress there. You can see they started putting flights of stairs in. You know, like, if you see this, guys, like, this looks like one big sub-assembly. You know, there's going to be like 5 more of those stacked on top of each other, right? Like, the Gigabay is going to be huge. I was telling somebody about these Gigabays a little bit earlier. SpaceX is basically building their own VABs. They're building 2 of them. They're building vehicle assembly buildings, one at Boca Chica and one at the Cape, and they're both gigantic buildings. Now, they aren't as big as NASA's vehicle assembly building. They're not as big. But it's almost as big. It's probably about 2/3 the size, which is that's still pretty large. See last about the Florida Gigabur. Florida. Julia Bergeron just posted the Florida Gigabay photos on X. Well, that's good timing, don't you think? Oh. Right, Beats? It's pretty damn cool, man. They did cut the chopsticks history, yep. Could they be taking down the ship arm at pad 1? I mean, maybe. I don't know. CSI Starbase did a really good deep dive into various deluge systems. Really good video. Anything that Zach posts is good one, man. Yeah, cool. The plate, yeah, the plate, yep. They're over 100 feet now. Dude. Wow. Like I said, this is coming from Julia, who's one of the co-workers that I have over at NSF. She's a photographer down at the Cape. Oh my goodness. I don't know, goalie. It seems like the Texas team might be catching you. They might be catching the Florida team, dude. I don't know. You guys should build it faster or something. Energy density around 1/3 of that is a lithium battery. Cool. 20,000 cycles. First rechargeable space batteries. I was going to say NASA uses IH2 batteries on the ISS. Interesting. Looks neat. Just another day in space. So much progress. Plus, they're building 2 at once. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yep. But they're going to put slings through the holes on the plate and cut them to lift sections. Yeah. They do that so they don't hit. Yeah, oh. Now, goalie, with these tower cranes, is this the type of tower crane that can, like, it picks up a section, right? And it can actually inchworm its way higher and higher, right? That's how those cranes work. They're self-stacking, correct? Yeah. You just feed it another section and it'll raise itself up. That's what all these gantries are for here. The thing, the thing that the Florida bars are white while the Starbase bars are gray pisses you off. Yeah, yeah, I hear you. Yeah, yeah, that's the stacking section, and there's a section right there. These tower cranes can actually inchworm themselves higher and higher, which is really cool. Fun fact, some of the people working on the Starbase Gigabay are Vegas and Los Angeles based. Yeah, I saw that picture that, who posted it? They're all, yeah, riggers from Las Vegas and, crane riggers from Las Vegas and Los Angeles. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, Jordan Guidry, that's right, yeah. I'm pretty sure I'm probably not saying Jordan's name right. Do these cranes spin? Yeah, spoiled. There's a pin, and they can do this. How much you want to bet SpaceX is driving a shortage of crane operators? They are in pretty dang high demand. Let's see, Gelly. Dude, that's pretty cool, man. Look at that, dude. Are you scared of heights? A little bit. A little bit spoiled. It depends. If I'm like on top of a skyscraper, I'll get vertigo for a second, but then I'll be fine. But standing up there, it'd probably take me a second to get used to that. Yeah, yeah, Mutter. Did you see it? Yeah, it flexes. The whole crane flexes when it picks up the next piece. Watch, see? See how the boom kind of went backwards and then it's going to move out? Watch, they're going to hoist the next piece. The whole thing moves. Yeah, there's kind of a holder for the section there while they jack the crane up. Oh, dude, that's so cool. Who the hell thinks of this stuff? Come on. Ooh, 66 Mustang. You see that? Yeah, they're getting deflection. Got it. You'd be passed out on the floor. Yeah, I would, it's so beautiful. Yeah, right? I would, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I would be up there and I'd be hanging on. I would be looking around and I'd be like, this is awesome. But I'd be like, nope, I'm just going to hold on to this. And, you know, I know that's how I would be because that is exactly what happened when, you know, I went up on Mobile Launcher 2 like 10 years ago. I had the pleasure of walking on SLS's Mobile Launcher and like going up to the top. And that's exactly what I was like. I was holding on to the structure. I'm like, you know what? I'm good. And they're like, why are you holding on to that so tight? I'm like, I just wanted to hug this structure because I like rockets. You know, I'm good. They're like, let go. I'm like, no, we don't need to do that. Yeah, and then they made us walk down the stairs. Yep. It was windy, dude. It was windy that day, and the whole launcher was doing this, and I'm like, take me here. Okay. The crane is self-erecting. Yeah, no, that's just natural. But yeah, that's what those cranes do. How about being in a man lift out on the boom? Yeah, that would be a little sketchy. Like I said, I would probably be a little scared the first, second, or third time doing this, but eventually I'd get used to it. Just joined my PF6 brain wants to shoot the back of that with an RPG. Oh, man. Too real, dude. Too freaking real. Oh, boy. But yeah, this is the Florida Gigabay, man. Julia just posted these pictures. That's, yeah, these tower cranes. So, Goalie, you were saying the tower cranes are at all different heights on purpose? Like they raise one and then raise the other so they don't deflect into each other or, like, move into each other, right? 50 feet versus 300 feet. Really no difference. You're dead if it all goes wrong, but still, big nope. Yeah, I guess 1-2. That's a good way to look at that, I guess. You've never flown because of your fear of heights? Now, I don't get that. See, that doesn't happen to me, David. I mean, I can understand how somebody would get that. I don't have any fear of flying or looking. Dude, in fact, I'm glued to the window when I'm flying in a plane. I'm like, look, I can see that city. Let me look at my phone. Oh, that's that city. Look at it. Oh, that's awesome. I can see Denver. This is great. You know, like that is very much me when I'm flying. But because like I don't need people on an airplane thinking I'm crazy, it's just me going. Yes. Yes, that's very nice. Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, very good. Yes. Mm-hmm. I just make it look like I'm checking my email or something. You know. But in reality, I'm like, oh, look at that. That's the Grand Canyon. Oh, sweet. This is awesome. You know, like internally, you know. I try to spot the landmarks and find where we are on a map. Yep. Nope. Nope. Yep. Absolutely guilty. Yep. 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 Here's 5 cents, EJ. Go buy yourself something. I think I'll buy myself a coffee. Or a banana. Or a stapler. But be yourself. Express the space love. Yeah. Yeah, Banana. Yeah, Banana. I knew a guy that puts a GoPro on the windows and records a time lapse. He picks a seat depending on which side will have better clouds. You know you're a nerd when. Do you think all those thoughts are what's going through that pilot's mind as they're going, yeah. Yep. Yeah, maybe. Fooled by Primes, I worked on the FAA level D flight sims with 3D graphics projected from above the cockpit, and people that are not used to the view would almost fall over when I let go of the flight freeze, and the plane would trim a bit. Cool. Yeah. No, I love flying. Flying's awesome. Dude, I mean, this will come as no surprise to anybody here. I love airplanes. Airplanes are sick. So freaking cool. Like, you watch ADSB on flights I'm on sometimes. Yep, also guilty. Yes. Okay. All right. Who's a real nerd? So, if your phone has a level, the leveling app, like where you can see if something is level, I put my phone on the holder on the seat and I put the level on to see how many degrees we rotated through V1. Oh yeah, done that many times. And you can also see your bank angle. The level will tell you the freaking bank angle if you zero it when the plane's taking off. Who's done it? Who's done it? I've done it. Scott Manley did it. Scott did it. He posted about that a long time ago. Yep. Yep. You can see you're in flight. You can see the attitude of the damn plane. Definitely done that. Yeah, I definitely did that. Brimo and I were flying, and I did that. And I was sitting window, Brimo was sitting middle, and then the person in the aisle seat was like, "Oh, that's super cool. You really do you like airplanes?" I'm like, "Yep, yep, yes I do." Yep. Admit it, you're like me. You dress up a bit to fly. I just wear what I'm Just wear regular street clothes when I'm flying, dude. I don't dress up a bit, but I do look forward to the experience, said Mana. For sure. You'd probably get an app with a set of 4x4 gauges, both X and Y axis tilt. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Any superstition before you do for a flight? Walking on the plane, touch the left top rail side of the door every time. No, okay, this is gonna sound weird. When I'm boarding a plane, I want there to be a traffic jam right when I'm walking into the door of the plane so I can look at the plane serial number and see where and when it was made. I don't take a picture of it because the flight attendant is usually looking right at you, and that would be a little weird. But I'm like, oh yeah, this was made in 2014. It's a 737, 738 Renton plane. You know, like it's like, oh okay, yeah, I'd definitely do that. That's my boarding tradition. Airplanes are awesome, man. Freaking rule. Spacecraft are cooler though. But planes are pretty damn cool. You've never been on a plane? Ah, it's no problem, the dojo. It's fine. Planes are awesome. It's fun, man. Yeah, I just realized the Lions play the Cowboys at 8:15. Oh. Huh. Well, we're gonna have to get through more space news. We're gonna have to get through space news. You don't have to come in, I just didn't know. But what if I want to watch Hand Egg? We should play Flight Simulator. Guys, I'm playing Flight Simulator next week. We should play Flight Simulator. Somebody reminded me about playing when we played Flight Sim 2020 during the pandemic. And I had actual pilots teach me how to fly a Citation CJ4. Yeah, we'll play Flight Sim next week. I've decided. I don't know why I forgot about that. Like the user's Guitars for Zombies, so you have him to thank, right? Guitars for Zombies yesterday was like, dude, do you remember like when you flew around with like actual pilots and they showed you how to fly the plane? I'm like, I actually forgot about that. That was awesome. And he's like, yeah, that was awesome. You should do that more. I'm like, I should do that more. And Hearts of Iron too. We could do Hearts of Iron after the Flame Trench tomorrow. You know? First time on the new rig as well. Do I have Flight Simulator? I'm pretty sure someone bought me Flight Sim 2004, even though I said not to. I mean, I tell you guys not to do a lot of things, and then, you go and do it. I do, and it's installed. Curious. Yep. Somebody got me 2024's. Someone bought it. Yep. We'll play that next week, dudes. We'll do that next week. I think all systems. Yeah. You stopped because they came up with a new one after they said they wouldn't. Yeah, and I said I wouldn't buy it. Turns out there was a flaw in my logic, John. I said I wouldn't buy it. I didn't say I wouldn't play it. So all systems bought it for me. I mean, kind of poked a hole in my logic, so oh no, we have to fly planes now. Oh no. Would you say it's a systems failure in your logic? Yeah, very rare thing. Very rare thing. I'm usually pretty careful with my words. That Richard. Yep, I know. Go to 2:30.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
What the hell is that? Oh, that's kind of cool. Neat. Next shop project. Don't. Airplane motion rig. Oh, dude, I don't have your room to build that. DCS. I message received. In VR, Flight Simulator is a life-changing experience. Did you tell Chad about what we discovered about your RAM earlier? It's worth money. A lot of it. Yeah, I'm not, yeah, no, I know about that. Hey, Pelly Joe, what's going on? Thank you for the 4-month resub. I saw something that that TFR are in 2024 and you get a fighter escort out of them. There are TFRs in 2024 and you get fighter escorts out of them. Neat. The RAM is basically my retirement fund. How is that the RAM that's in Canard? Because I don't want to get rid of that RAM. I need that RAM. It's mine. Well, it's not mine. It's technically you guys, but you actually played some Flight Sim in VR. Yeah. Well, okay, fellas. You said it's my retirement fund. How much we talking here? How much RAM does this computer have? RAM prices have skyrocketed. Yeah, mods are telling me it's because of AI, so that's great. Great. We have 96 gigs. The RAM is currently worth about what we paid for the whole PC. Really? It went up 4.5 times. Is the shuttle simulator still operational? Nah, Dave. They got rid of that. NASA got rid of that a long time ago. Want to come run? There's a Delta 45 is holding a 10-mile running race. Nope. No, I'm good. I used to run. I do not run anymore. Probably make it about 100 meters and go. Pretty sure I saw Jensen Huang was seen drinking shots with Shaeball family over at Samsung. Then suddenly RAM went up. Look at the path for the thing. Yeah. I don't see anything about the path here, but I'm guessing that's through Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. We did Project Canard at exactly the right time. If we'd waited even a month. 96 gigabyte of RAM is like 1,600 now. That's not worth it. Would you be coughing from running or just the Boston River? What? Yes. Yes. Think of the content though. You wanted to spice up the stream. Nah, I just said I gotta be better, man. I gotta be better. I gotta be like this more. You know, I gotta come in here and want to have some fun with you guys. Like, it's just life's been so hard lately. I come in here, it's just running through the motions. We gotta stop doing that. That's lame. That's not good content. It's not good. It's not good pizza, Frankie. Not good pizza. It's not good pizza. We can't do that. It's not good pizza. All right. Anyway. The 10-miler in person. All right, let's take a look. Gelly, what do we got? Okay. Yep. Yep. Oh, dude, you go down Missile Row. And it finishes at the lighthouse. So here's the thing. I would probably make it to about, like, if you start right here, I'd probably make it to about here and then throw up. Yep. And then I'd probably make it to about here and be like, yeah, I'm done. I'm good. I'm good. And then I'd just walk the rest of the way because I'd be like, Atlas Space Operations. Yes. Pad 37. 34. Dude, it goes around complex 37. I'd do this just as an excuse to go see pad 37, but I don't feel like running. I don't feel like running. All right. Couple more bits of space news, and then I'm going to go watch the hand egg game with Remo. I just felt like running. Are you doing it for world peace? Nope. I just felt like running. And for some day, I just felt like running. All right, so this is an update from NASA here. Rome wasn't built in a day. Okay, but Roman just came together in one. But Nancy Grace Roman telescope has finished final integration at the Goddard Space Flight Center. Roman isn't just pretty to look at, it will also change the way we understand and observe the universe. This observatory is named after NASA's first chief of astronomy and will have a field of view at least 100 times larger than Hubble. Check out more Pohotos here. Hello. No, that's not a photo. Impressive. Very nice. Let's see Nancy Roman's telescope. Oh, jeez. The multi-layer insulation. The solar panels. Oh, it's perfect. I had to have it. Oh, God. It's perfect. Nice. Nice! That's with the solar arrays in the deployed position. Cool. It even has a meatball logo. That's awesome. Okay, so we also got an update here from Firefly on their Miranda engines. The Miranda engines are the engines that are going to be used for their Eclipse launch vehicle. I can't listen to that because of the music. This is their testing campaign. All jokes aside, this is a God tier mission. Yep. I like the ground burning off over there. That's pretty good. Cool. 100 plus Miranda engine tests and counting. Good for Firefly, man. That's great. And, oh, hello. Nice. Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, dude, look at this next thing. This is awesome. The Astrobotic team recently completed a series of hot fire tests using a flight representative replica of Griffin 1's propulsion system. Throughout the test campaign, the main engine supplied by Frontier Aero fired 299 pulses. These tests validated performance and delivered essential data using firing profiles representative of actual flight conditions. Hardware-in-the-loop testing, baby. Griffin's propulsion system uses a hypergolic bipropellant architecture with 2 fuel tanks and 2 oxidizer tanks. All pressure fed by 3 helium pressurant tanks. During key mission phases, both in the main engines and attitude control system, both the main engines and the attitude control system thrusters will fire in pulsed modes to achieve maneuvers like powered descent to the lunar surface. These critical tests were carried out by Xquadrum's Forge testing facility located at Southern California Logistics Airport. That's Mojave. You could have just called it Mojave. But watching Griffin's engines ignite is an exciting step forward in bringing the infrastructure class lander online. All right, what do we got here? What's that you got there? Whoa, dude, no. Yep, that's what RCS does. Tick, 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 tick. Just, yeah, pulse width modulation. Cool. That's super cool. This last shot here is awesome. Dude, that's sick. That's awesome. Bum, bum, bum. Sorry. That probably didn't pick up on the thing. All right. Cool. Good stuff. Hey, Starliner, yeah, they could learn a thing or 3 or 27. All right, dudes. So good stuff. All good things. Good space news. Considering the time of year, it should be synced to the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Ding, fries are done. Now it's stuck in your head. Deal with it. All right. So, dudes, I'm not gonna do after hours tonight. We'll do after hours tomorrow. Don't worry. There's plenty of Battlefield to be played. I'm gonna go watch the foosball game with Brimo. Both of our teams, unfortunately, played Monday and Thursday, so we didn't have after hours on Monday. We're not gonna have after hours today. I didn't realize this until now. But yeah, it has been a long day for your boy. I had to drive into Boston this morning. At a doctor's appointment. I'm healthy, that's good. Somehow. We're sitting here all day. Pretty healthy. You boys doing good? Boys doing good? You got a clean bill of health. That's nice. Dang, I just got that out of your system. You work at Burger King making flame grilled Whoppers all the time. Would you like an apple pie with that? Anyway. Like what SpaceX did the Raptor vid to that song? Yeah. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed Space News. I'm going to be out for the night here. Pretty good. Tomorrow we have Kerbal. We're going to get that lander up and running. We have KSP and then Flame Trench. And then I don't know what we'll do for after hours. Maybe Hearts of Iron. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how we feel after Flame Trench, and we'll go from there. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Thank you. Ding, fries are done. Ding, fries are done.